Okay, I swear I'm gonna play the actual rest of this game eventually. I just have to get to the top of this tower. Okay, one more time. One more time. Oh, one more time. Palia was not what I was expecting from a game marketed as an MMO. But what confused me, and I am an MMO player of like tons of years, is that the social aspect of the social MMO seemed to be really missing for me. And it confused me as I was playing the game because I wasn't sure exactly what type of MMO I was getting myself into. So this video is going to be my journey through Palia and trying to figure out what kind of a game it is exactly and why it has the MMO tag on it. Here's a quick 10-second breakdown of what Palia is before we actually get into the rest of the game. Palia is an MMO mashed with a cozy game, similar with Stardew Valley, where you befriend villagers, farm resources, and build up a homestead with some kind of overarching story. And MMO confusion aside, I have put at least 30 hours into Palia at this point, so it does have some redeeming qualities, which I will also get into in this video. My Palia beginnings involved chopping trees, mining stone and copper, as well as getting to know all of the different NPCs within the town and a small region of Kalima. Kalima is the main starting map that you will spawn into as you begin your Palia journey. The core gameplay loop of Palia revolves completely around this home base as you work to upgrade your structures, expand the amount of plots you can garden, and of course place down all different kinds of workbenches that will allow you to craft and upgrade your tools. It's a gameplay loop that I feel is familiar to lots of players, and so I was pretty nonplussed about it all, but then I thought, hey, this is supposed to be an MMO, so let's explore what the MMO parts of Palia have to offer. In an MMO, focused around building and showing off your stuff maybe a little bit as the only form of competition in the social MMO, you'd think you could go through like a server list of people's places and go and look at their stuff. There is no open access to neighborhoods or player homes in Palia. It's invite only. Now, people will say, well, they're trying to prevent people from like stalking, trolling, following someone back to their house and not leaving them alone kind of thing. But just because you open up the interface to allow someone else to see someone else's home doesn't mean you have to instance them in the same instance of the home, if you know what I mean. So like there are ways to separate that. New World does it pretty well. You can check out someone's home and I don't even think they know that you're there. So in New World you can go and look at somebody's decorations and all of the trophies they have and the way they've set up their homes without being able to directly bug them, which is a good thing. Particularly would be a good thing in a game like Palia, where it seems like it's trying to be very chill and stress-free and relaxed. So beyond not being able to show off everything I had been grinding for freely to other people around the world of Palia, I also realized that Palia's main story and the overarching theme of Palia doesn't exactly unite the player base in a way that a normal MMO would. In those games, there is usually some huge outstanding problem that needs to be solved, and it usually requires the help of many players in order to solve it, and I found that to also be pretty lacking in Palia. So it's important to mention that Palia also is not in its full release, and that development is going to be ongoing, kind of like a rolling development. Palia is currently in 0.171, so it's not even in 1.0 yet, and I think that's an important thing to consider as far as where the story might go, or if they can just add some more social elements to fuel the story in a greater sense, as opposed to just making it more of a single player vibe. Right now, there are only a few things you actually can do with other people, one of which is a cake party where you get a whole bunch of people together. It takes about an hour to make a cake, but you do get some pretty big rewards for that. You can stand beside other players who are fishing in order to get a buff to your fishing, and probably my least favorite activity so far in Palia is farming palladium mines and flow trees. These are advanced resources that you're going to need in order to build the more advanced workstations and upgrade your tools. For a game that is trying to keep competition low, I think it's very interesting that they've made these resources so rare and also promoted heavy competition and grinding throughout the player base in order to actually get our hands on these materials. So the way it works is you're supposed to call out when you see one of these glowing purple trees called flow trees, or palladium mines, which have kind of like a purple-gray ore to them. You're supposed to call out that they are on the map, and then you're kind of expected to stand around and wait until other people show up, because the way it works is, if multiple people hit the same node, they get more resources in return for it, as opposed to mining it all yourselves. The other catch to this is that flow trees require, in some cases, more than one person to actually be able to chop them down, because the health bar refills quicker than your chopping action. So in some cases, you are completely gated by resources in order to progress, which is actually where I am right now in my playthrough of the game. So sometimes what'll happen is people will get a little heated if somebody just nabs a resource without letting everybody else in the chat know about it. And I don't really follow that whole rule set, because, you know, when you gather things and you don't have that much time to play a game, you kind of just take, because you need to get on with your day. And when certain things in the game are gated behind having these resources, grab them while you're there. If you have the extra time to help out other people on the server, that's great. And I have done a few times, but there have also been a few times where I've just needed to get on with my day because I needed to do stuff outside or with the kids or something like that. So there is that usual competition there of resources. I mean, it's a typical MMO thing. I think it would be silly to try and take that completely out of an MMO. And I think it's equally as silly to have players crucifying other players for not taking 10 extra minutes to sit there and wait for them to show up to mine one node and get like 2 little pieces of resource or something. So yeah, that was my experience with working alongside other players, and that's what happened with it. And it was not a positive experience. The one time I got called out for it because I had things to do and I was just going on my merry way. So that's maybe a downside of the Palia community. And not everyone does it, but it is kind of a bummer when there's only 25 people on a server and you do hit that one that gets a little bit resource possessive. This is when I would really like to have PvP in a game. But alas, we don't. But as I said, Palia does have its redeeming qualities, and I do have over 30 hours into it at this point, so I figured now would be a good time to get into what quickly became my obsession as I made my way through Palia, which was figuring out if I could make a courtyard house out of my little homestead. Alright, so here's what I'm trying to do. So see how we have this little offshoot here? Whoops. Technically, it's a little hallway section. So what I'm wanting to do is add one more hallway section, and then a large room here, and then 2 more hallway sections, a large room here. And then all of this in the middle, I'll be able to decorate as like a courtyard, or put like a koi pond in it, or just do something cool with it like that. So when I play games like this, I really like to push all the different ways that you can be creative and build stuff. So this is my first attempt at doing that in Palia. So we're going to see how it goes. The plan is going to be to sit here in town, really close to where you can repair your gear, and just go crazy fishing. I have 71 worms, and I'm hoping that by fishing through all of my worms, that I will be able to afford all of the pieces I need for my courtyard. I mean, 71 worms is a lot of upgraded fish. So I'm going to sit here all afternoon with my cup of tea, and we're going to see how this goes. Alright, this is my final worm to use. My inventory is basically full, so it's kind of perfect timing in that respect. I should also have a shipment of a whole bunch of seeds and veggies that I sold back in my shipping bin. So we'll see what that got us, and then we'll see what all of these fish in my inventory can also get us. So it looks like this is going to be another one of those little red-bellied piranhas. There we go. Home sweet home. I heard the coins jingle. Yep. Okay, so we got 2 grand from that. Now, let's see what we can get if we put our fish in here. I think yeah, okay, we'll just do this. Click, 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 click. All right, so that's another 2,300. Cool. Oh, missed one. All right, so 2,600. So that's really not bad. Hopefully the plan works. My plans usually do work because they're within the limitations of the game. I'm just not 100% sure if we can hook up one hallway to another hallway, or if it has to be a room. All right, so we're gonna grab a hallway section. And see, here's, I have the porch already. Here's the extra door. Should I get 2 hallway sections? I'm gonna be risky. I'm gonna get 2 hallway sections even though I'm not 100% sure that I actually need them. And I'm back down to 200 gold. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go straight into H mode and we're gonna move some stuff around. I'm gonna move this just right here for now so that I can more easily see where I'm putting all of these modules. So if we come down into blueprints, what's this? Windmill. Where did I get a windmill? I don't remember buying a windmill. Anyway, we've got a hallway section. So let's see. Oh, yes. Okay, sweet. Look at this. We can connect another hallway section. I think this is going to be possible. I think I'm actually going to be able to make my courtyard. My courtyard goal is still alive and kicking. The modules do take quite a bit of gold to unlock, so I do have some time left to put into it, but I'm not 100% sure what my motivating factor to continue playing Palia is going to be after I do have my courtyard all closed in and neatly decorated. I'm going to be using Palia as my like virtual online home hub, because it is a free-to-play game, which means that anyone in my community could download it. And I think it's cool to show off like who you are with the way you decorate. It's almost like nesting when you first buy a home. I mean, I'm a mom and I take care of my house and I enjoy that part of having a home. And so I think it is cool to like show off a little bit of who you are in game too. And so I think it might be a fun way to every now and then, if there are events that pop up, or maybe if I get a bunch of resources that I need help cooking or something, people can just freely log on and do that. And honestly, Palia is low-key addictive, but also pretty relaxing and just lets you zone out and not worry about all the other stuff going on in your more competitive or stressful games. Darkest Dungeon 2, I'm talking about you. So yeah, that's what Palia is going to be for me. It's going to be my virtual home that people can come and visit if they want to. All of that information will be on my Discord in the Palia channel about how you can come and see my beautiful home that right now is a mess because it's just being updated and stuff, but when it's done, it'll be nice. And maybe I'll get a little pet like her that I can put in the home. I think that means I need to actually buy something though, but honestly, if I keep playing, I'm going to support the developers. So that's my conclusion about Palia, is that there's a lot of potential, and I don't think it's there yet, but I do think there are activities that could be added to actually promote the social MMO part, and I think it could be really popular and something totally different from what's already out there. So I appreciate what the developers are doing, and I'm curious to see where it goes from there as it continues to develop. So that is it for me, guys, on my journey through this interesting new MMO and social game. I hope you've enjoyed it. I, as always, hope you have been enjoying whatever game it is that you're playing. All of that Palia info will be over on my Discord. I've got all kinds of other stuff over on the Discord too. So that is it for me, and I will see you all in the next video.